if you are fortunate enough and blessed enough to have teenagers in your house, you will have the opportunity, the privilege to one day teach them how to drive. If you watch until the end, we will teach you how to deal with this, where's the gear shifter situations, number one. Number two, we're also going to share with you tactics that you can actually use that will help you not scream and not make the people nervous that are in the car and outside the car. Hope you enjoy this episode. Next to me, very skilled teacher that has taught two boys how to drive very nicely, Anna-Marie Meyer and Eddie.
Sure.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Let's teach these people some calmness. Enjoy. First tactic, be careful with directions.
I think just give it soon enough. Because we tend to, if you know how to drive, it's like, okay, go left here, go right there. But you can't do it with a teenager. First of all, they're nervous. And so it's almost like a block ahead. Start saying, and just calmly say, you've got to move closer to the middle because you need to indicate, you need to turn at the next. But just speak it. And I think that is the one thing. Calm, speaking to the teenager, girl or boy. Boys tend to rush it. Girls tend to get more nervous. Yeah, they know all.
We just sit back and
they know all. So I think it's just ease them into either changing lanes or turning. So whatever direction they're going in or the next movement, just speak calmly into it.
100%. Be constantly aware. You have to be aware because the passenger is, or the driver of the vehicle is not aware.
You have to remember
for him and everyone around you.
Of course.
Inexperienced drivers, right? They mostly still focused inside the car, right? So you need to be the eyes out there. The more experienced you become, you get to have that 360 view of the surroundings. But for a learner driver, that's not very likely to be the case. So you need to always make sure that you'll be able to point out if something might go wrong.
Number three, correct by asking questions. So for example, do you think you going 75 in a 60 zone will lead to a ticket? Yes. Okay, cool. Just adjust your speed a little bit. Or do you think attempting to go in this corner at this speed in the lane that you currently are, do you think you'll make it? Perhaps not. So always correct. I know it's difficult, but correct.
Because you're so nervous yourself at that point in time.
Yeah, no, you want to just shake that youngster. But the moment that you ask questions, you validate. Because if you ask the question and they say no, then they'll immediately realize, oh, shucks, okay, I need to slow down or I need to speed up or whatever the case might be.
And you didn't tell them what to do. So 100%. For a teenager, that's better to ask.
You need to ask their opinion because when you're a teenager, the one common thing all teenagers have is they know everything. So if you ask their opinion, 9 times out of 10, they'll have a good idea. You're right, 100%. Number 4, let your team take the initiative.
All teenagers aren't right at the same time. I've got a son that I think he wanted to start driving at the age of 8.
Yeah,
and you've got to stop that. But for the older teenager, it's better just to let them be. Because some are scared. Yeah. So don't force them into it, because then they're not going to be right. And a excited, nervous teenager on the road can just be dangerous. So just allow it and ease them into it. Allow them for their own pace.
Biki. Little bit by little bit. Plan ahead.
Yeah, so, I mean, if I'm going to learn how to drive, it would help much better if I know where I'm going to drive. Is the curvy road? Will there be lots of turns? Do we have to look out for cops? Is there taxis driving around there? So at least talk about the area.
Always make it fun.
Yeah, always talk about the area, study the area, and make sure that the learner knows exactly where they're going to drive and what to expect. Yeah.
Remember, you are the coach, which means you're going to be giving feedback and immediately expecting a response. That's not how it works. As a coach, when you give feedback, you give the feedback, you ask the questions, you validate, and then you demonstrate. And you have to be patient. So as a coach, you need to take your time. That that team member, that learner driver has never done this before. So calmness, if you freak out on them, for example, my wife couldn't teach her younger sister how to drive because she was freaking out. And the moment that I jumped in the car and I thought, let me test the skill here. And the moment that she started looking for the second gear, I knew it's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
But as a coach, you say, no, second gear's down, look forward. Do you think it's dangerous to do this? Yes, it is. Okay, look forward and then find the gear that way. As the coach, you need to just give feedback.
Calm.
Absolutely. And then you need to set a good example.
I don't think that's not one for me. But when my son
That is one.
is with me in the car, I tend to do. But that's what you have to do.
And-
Because if I'm
and
going
what
to
happens
skip
when he's not in the car? Now I'm asking
Sport mode
myself.
on.
Sport mode, Sport Plus.
10 minutes to the office, with my son in the car, it's 18 minutes.
Okay, got it.
But you've got to set an example. Jokes aside. If you're going to skip a yellow light, he's obviously going to do the same.
skip four.
He's going to, he's going to do
'Cause it's
exactly
normal.
the
Mommy
same.
does it, or
Yeah.
daddy or
If
brother
you're going
or
to
cousin.
do lane changing ridiculously, he's going to do that. So set the example by staying. Keeping both hands on the steering wheel is the most difficult. Unfortunately, they will fail if they don't do it. And I can remember when I started with them, that for me again, to get into that habit, was so difficult. But you've got to do it, because if you're going to do that, they're going to do it. Because mommy, daddy, you guys are doing that. So you've got to set an example.
For the BMW drivers out there, it's normally on the
It's
left-hand
not
side.
bad.
Use the indicator while you're teaching the people how to drive when they're in the car. After that, just do your thing, but set an example when you're teaching
BMW
people.
driver
The BMW
saying that.
driver that's just laughing there. Is that on the left-hand side, or you're not sure? Just check on your work.
I'll check.
Good. Start off with daylight and great weather.
Yeah.
You don't want to be teaching an inexperienced person at night while it's raining.
No. It's
not
I mean,
optimal.
for a beginner, you don't want such hard conditions. I mean, they need to practice until they master their driving. And then only then they can challenge the weather. I remember I wanted to drive in the rain. And my uncle didn't want to allow me to do that. I was only, a few months driving. And he said, no, never in the rain. But now I get it.
Now you know why? Because sometimes there's oil and there's diesel and there's stuff on the road, especially after the first rain. Oh, I don't want to be on the road after the very
And
first rain.
99% of the time, you and your teenager will end up in a fight. You're going to not love each other that much
For a few minutes.
for a few minutes.
Just be patient. Number 9, and lastly, start off slowly. So what does this mean? Empty parking lot, just start off practicing turning. Then start off practicing pulling away. Oh, that's the best part. Just to test if everything is still in its place.
Yes, I feel sorry for the vehicles.
Yeah, start off by braking gently, because the left foot is a little bit stronger than the right foot. So that feel needs to be slowly. Before you go on a public road or wherever you're going to go and teach that person to drive, obviously we're not encouraging you to go on the public road. You need to do it in a controlled environment. And one of the best money I've ever spent, thinking about it now, was engaging a driving school to help me teach my sister-in-law to drive. So I got her to do the basics. I saw, me and you, we're going to have a fight. So I just 2 or 3 hours, because that person is professionally trained. Spend a couple of $100. I think it's $350 or $450 per hour. Get that person to teach you the basics.
You have to, because you
Or
know
him.
what? Eventually, the only thing that's going to happen, you're going to try and go and do your driver's license, and the child is going to fail.
Yeah.
It's going to be
And
chaos.
it's going to be, it's a blame. That's why I said, for that moment, you still love each other, but you're not very fond of each other at that moment. So
Spend the
take
budget.
it. Spend the
Spend the
money.
money,
Take them to a
couple of
driving
hours.
school. It's going to save you a lot of tears.
100%.
I tried to save money and not go the driving school way with my wife. But now I had to pay a panel beater for the Hyundai gets started.
See,
So you didn't save the money.
No, I actually
No.
spent more.
no, the
Love the
ultimate,
story.
once you get there, you've got to go through that.
Thank you very much. I think if you guys enjoyed this episode, you thought it added value, please hit the like button.
Please subscribe to our channel.
Ring a bell.
Thank you very much. Take care and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.